Hey Micah, I'm glad you dropped by for a little discussion. Hey, what's your question today?
Hey Granddad, I was wondering, why do a lot of scientists not believe in God?
Well, that's an interesting question. As a matter of fact, Micah, a lot do. There was a survey quite recently, in the last couple of years, a survey of very respectable working scientists that showed that 40% do believe in God, in a personal way, in a way where they pray to Him. So a lot do, a lot don't. There are some very vocal scientists who don't believe in God, people like Richard Dawkins, famous propagandist for atheism, and there are many that do. Famous ones like Francis Collins, who cracked the human genome, very well-known scientist who has a personal faith as a Christian that's like mine. If you know anything about the history of science, and you'll learn that soon in high school, you'll know that some very, very famous scientists, big names like Newton and Michael Faraday, Isaac Newton and Michael Faraday, were motivated by their faith to do their science. It was science they felt that would show them more about what God was like. The problem, I think, today with some scientists like Richard Dawkins is they think that all faith, like my Christian faith, is blind faith. But actually, my faith depends on very solid evidence, and that's a very important point, that you have to look at the evidence. If, like Dawkins, you presuppose or assume there is no God, then you don't look at the evidence. And that assumption, that taking for granted, that presupposition, is a problem for some scientists, because they don't bring God into the picture, because they've ruled Him out before they start making their conclusions. So that's a very important point. Listen, I want to say this to you, Mikey. You love chocolate, right? You love chocolate. Well, I'm going to take this nice piece of chocolate, and I'm going to hide it in one of my hands, and if you can guess which one it's in, Micah, it's yours. If you guess wrong, you're out of luck. What are you doing?
This one.
Ah, you weren't guessing. How did you know it was in that one?
I sniffed it out.
You checked the evidence. You got the point. Listen, like the chocolate, God is hidden. We can't really see God. How are we going to find God? Well, we have to follow the evidence. And it's just like the chocolate. When you discover the chocolate, you're going to enjoy it. And if you follow the evidence and find God, well, the real evidence for me is it brings joy into your life. And that's the ultimate evidence. So what did you learn today, Micah?
I learned not to assume anything and to check the evidence for things that you don't know.
That's right. Investigate and check things out.